Hello all, Narnicle here, with a video about the Valheim dedicated server setup today. In my previous Valheim dedicated server videos, I always talked about hosting your Valheim dedicated server at survival servers, but so far I have not shown how to actually edit this set. That's why I'll show you how to set up one at survival servers in today's video. You may be wondering why you would buy a Valheim dedicated server at all from survival servers when you can set up a free Valheim dedicated server at home with the methods explained in my previous video. However, there are a number of very good reasons for this. To start with, your Valheim dedicated server must be running 24/7 at home if you want your friends to be able to connect to your Valheim dedicated server at all times. If you switch off the computer where you host the Valheim dedicated server, this server is offline for everyone. Does your ISP have a malfunction and is therefore your internet connection down? Even then your friends will not be able to connect to your Valheim dedicated server. Also, setting up a Valheim dedicated server at home takes some doing in terms of technical steps, and these can be quite advanced for the average gamer. Survival servers takes all these worries and steps off your hands. They maintain your Valheim dedicated server, ensure that it is always available, and all you have to do to set it up is to press a button. And follow this video. To get started, go to narnicle.com/survival servers. When you arrive at the page, you immediately see that they also sell Valheim servers. Clicking the green button here will redirect you to Steam to purchase the game. So click on the red button to purchase a Valheim dedicated server. Enter a username followed by a password for your survival servers account twice. Enter your email address here and choose a location where you want to set up the server physically. Here it is a good idea to choose a location that is closest to both you and the friends who are participating. Of course you only need one server, but if you want to buy more then that is possible. The option for 10 players is sufficient and recommended as more players not only require a mod, but also costs more money. Then you choose your desired billing cycle. The longer the cycle you choose, the cheaper the server will be. If you know that you will be using this server for a longer period of time, it is the cheapest and therefore best to choose a cycle of 12 months. Since the folder cannot be adjusted, you can just leave it on Valheim, and if you want to hide the survival server's brand everywhere on your Valheim dedicated server for free, you can tick this checkbox. Enter a coupon code if you have one, and choose from credit card or PayPal for your payment method. Agree to the terms of use by checking this box and clicking Order Now. Depending on the payment method you select, you will either be redirected to PayPal or you will see a pop-up to provide further details. After this, survival servers will create the Valheim dedicated server in the background for you. Note that this process can take up to 15 minutes. After your server has been created, you will immediately be placed in your control panel. Click here under Game Servers on your newly created Valheim dedicated server. Now comes the really cool work. Your server will start automatically, and at the top left of this page you will find the server details that you can use to connect to the server. Both your server IP address and port are displayed here, and by clicking on the info icon next to it, you will be provided with more information. If you want to know exactly how to connect to a Valheim dedicated server, check out my previous video on this topic. At the top right you will find your FTP details. You can access your server files directly with this data, but it might be a better idea to leave it alone if you don't know what you're doing. With the checkboxes below, you can choose to skip server updates, clean the Steam CMD folder, and delete your Valheim world. Then we arrive at your server settings. As you can see, you can move your server to another location at any time if you suddenly need to. The folder choice seems to be still under development, and with the server update setting, you can choose to install updates only when really needed, or to install updates at all times, and there is also a setting to install these updates afterwards to validate. If you do not know what these settings do, you can click on the info icon next to it at any time for more information. Under these settings, you can choose to enable or disable automatic server updates. If you are a fan of the Valheim Plus mod, you can enable it very easily with this option. On the right in these settings you can adjust the server title and you can indicate who is the host of this server. Next to the server password input field you can set a password for your server, and next to admin UID you can enter your Steam 64 ID to indicate that you are the administrator of the Valheim dedicated server. Finally, you can specify an interval at which your server will automatically restart. This is sometimes necessary to install the automatic updates. You can also create a custom timetable for this with the blue button below. Do you already have a favorite Valheim world that you would prefer to play with your friends? Then you can upload it to your server with the button under your settings. You can also change your FTP password here if necessary. Survival Servers makes a backup of your Valheim world itself, and if you want to restore a backup of this, you can do this with the options at the bottom of the page. With the green button, you save these settings and automatically restart your Valheim server. With the buttons at the top of this page, you can start, stop, and restart your server yourself. With the launch button, you start the game automatically via Steam and connect it automatically to your server. I can hardly imagine it, but if you run into problems or questions, you can contact support directly from your control panel. Survival Servers also has a great forum and even a very helpful wiki. On the forum, you will also find help with connecting to your server, but I also have a video on my channel for that. Finally, you can purchase upgrades for your server with the green button at the top. Have you managed to get a hold of a server at Survival Servers with the help of this video? Then leave a like and feel free to leave your server information in the comments if you are looking for fellow players. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for much more upcoming Valheim related content, and want to see us play live on our Valheim dedicated server 3 times a week? Then follow me on twitch.tv/Narnicle, where I also answer Valheim related questions together with my friends. For now, I would like to thank you very much for watching and wish you a lot of fun on your own Valheim dedicated server, and see you all again in the next video.